Today we're working on our 856. We're going to get some counterbalance for our loader. We got a 2350 IH loader on it. The problem we have is we don't have enough weight on the rear end to support having a loader up front with any sort of load on it. These tires are not fluid filled. I would absolutely recommend some sort of fluid filled tires. However, these are just way too dry rotted, too cracked, and too far gone to put the investment of fluid filled in. So today we're going to go ahead and go through putting concrete ballast on the back. So we're going to fill a 55-gallon drum with some concrete. We'll go over that real quick on all the things you're going to need and basics of how to go through it, and then we'll go through some steps on how I went ahead and did this. Real quick, we're going to run through supplies. We got our 55-gallon barrel jug. This one happens to be plastic. You can use metal, you can use whatever you want. We got rebar that's going to run through, and it's going to make a loop and then go down for our top link. We got our roll stock. That is going to be essentially our pin that goes through our two arms. We got some galvanized steel post, and we will run that through the concrete so our pin is not permanently stuck in there. We can take that out just in case if that roll stock isn't thick enough and needs to be a little bit thicker. We have some options available and we don't have to start all over from scratch. A couple things you want to keep in mind when making a counterbalance is how heavy are the things you're going to be picking up. How heavy can your 3-point pick up? So the game plan right now is we're going to build a bale spear, so we're going to be picking up round bales about 1,000–1,200 pounds. We're going to be using it as a front end loader. It's got the bucket, so things like that. The 3-point is rated for about 5,000 pounds, so it has the capacity to. The disadvantage in many cases with this type of setup is you have to remove your drawbar every time you want to pick this up. However, this 856 is equipped with a 2-piece drawbar, so the drawbar separates in the back real easy. See right there, it's just a bolt, the drawbar comes out, and the drawbar is sitting there on the truck. So it makes it real easy. Also, the advantage of this is I could theoretically lift that up tall enough and I could put that drawbar back in and I could set it on there so it sits on the drawbar a little bit more than actually keeping all the weight on the 3-point itself. It'll also help with stability, keep it from moving a little bit. So those are a couple things to keep in mind. Obviously, if you're a small tractor, you have less weight that you're picking up, something like a 35-gallon jug, that might be better for you. Something like one of those protein bins, you know, that's a little less heavy. That might be what you're going for if you have a smaller utility tractor. Obviously, I would 100% recommend putting fluid in your tires if your tires are gonna last that long. However, like I stated, mine just aren't gonna last that long, so we're gonna go ahead and construct this. Again, just a good safety reminder, earplugs when cutting, and some sort of eye protection when using a grinder. Using a grinder, go ahead and cut through that, just because I don't want to use Sawzall and use up all my Sawzall blades. And it decided to blow up. So again, eye protection of some sort, ear protection so you can hear and you can see in the future. So what we got going on is we got our pipes cut and put in place for our pin. This piece happens to have a little pin right there, so that'll stop it. Oh, we might have to drill a hole through that to get a pin to make sure it doesn't slide around. We do have our two set, so we get one that you don't lift quite as high, so your center of gravity is a little bit lower. You get the other one where you can lift it up high enough to clear and set it on the drawbar if that's what we want to do. We'll still have some playing around and figure that out. We also got our rebar put in here. That's going to sit over here so we can have a chain that goes to our top link for a 3-point. One thing that we do kind of see right off the bat is we do have these hoses in the way, which my current plan is to go ahead and replace them with the same style as these. Just a hard plug. I never personally really like these. They move around, you have to push the back to get them all out, things like that. So we'll just go ahead and replace those, get those hard set in and get them put up there. I do have quite a bit of hose, so we'll have to figure a way to run that, zip tie that, whatever that is. So yeah, the next step is fill it with concrete. From what I can figure, it'll be about 17 bags. I went ahead and got 20, so I have plenty of extra. The advantage of doing it in something like this is if you run out and you don't have quite enough, then you can go ahead and go store, pick some more, just go ahead and put it on top. So that's the basics of how it goes. Any questions, comments, go ahead and throw that down into the comments. Let me know what you think. We got it all finished up pretty much. We got 17 bags of concrete in there. It's gonna sit dry for about a week before we really actually get to use it. But here's what it looks like. We're on a little bit of slope, so it's gonna be a little angled, which is fine. We did put some duct tape around our holes, make sure we didn't get too terrible of some leakage. But other than that, it looks good. We got our rebar for our chain. We got that all taken care of. So it'll sit here for a day or so, then I'll move it, and we won't really move it around for a week, let it get nice and dry. And then we'll have our ballast. So yeah, how to make a ballast for a front end loader when you don't have one.